Hello, everyone. We're glad you've tuned in today to our episode of the McGill Minute. My name is Mary Frances Kiffmeyer, and I serve as the marketing manager at McGill. With college career fairs approaching and students starting to make their post-graduation plans, we wanted to talk with two of our team members who have interviewed many employees over the years and hear what they find is important for those job seekers to keep in mind during this process. So today I'm joined by Angie Alley and Doug Chapman. Angie is McGill's Director of Human Resources. She is directly responsible for the overall administration, coordination, and evaluation of the human resources function at McGill. Among many of her responsibilities is recruiting and retaining the most qualified and best fit engineering and support personnel for McGill. Doug is one of our firm principals and manager of the Hickory office. He has more than 30 years of engineering experience and has been part of McGill for 21 years. As office manager, he's responsible for a staff of 30 engineers and support personnel. He's known for his leadership, technical expertise, innovative thinking, and client relations. Welcome, Angie and Doug. So glad you could join us today.
Thanks, Mary Frances.
Thank you.
So let's go ahead and get started. What are you looking for when meeting students or recent graduates for the first time? Angie, do you want to start?
Sure. So from an HR perspective, what I'm looking for in a student or a recent graduate is passion. If they are passionate about what we do at McGill, then they're going to be engaged and stay with us for a long time. So if we really boil it down, it's really that passion piece.
Doug, what about you?
I think a couple of things that we look for are how people engage, how they communicate. Can they do eye contact? How's their demeanor? Do they feel like, are they sitting down slouching in their chair? Or are they sitting up alert? Do they take notes? Just if they're interested in doing what we do.
So what are you specifically looking for when you're reviewing resumes and cover letters, Angie?
So when we start to look at resumes and cover letters, we're really looking to see the type of program that the student is engaged in. We're also looking for internships where they have spent their time over the summers. And that's particularly difficult right now because of COVID. We recognize that some folks haven't had the opportunity to have an internship. And we're also looking for some of those computer skills. So AutoCAD, Civil 3D, Revit, some of those specific to the industry that maybe they have had an opportunity in class to be exposed to or during an internship.
So what makes a candidate stand out once the process starts? Do you have any examples of something that really made an impact on you?
I think a lot of it is how they communicate. What's their personality like? Are they outgoing? Are they too outgoing? Do they seem cocky? Do they seem silly? How professional are they? How they carry themselves.
What about you, Angie?
A student really stands out to me when they are engaged. A lot of students that we talk to may not know exactly what they're looking for, but they're eager to talk to us and find out more about McGill and how it might be a good fit for them. And so I think that interest in McGill and just learning more about what we do, again, that goes back to the passion. If we can connect their passion of what they want to do or what they want to pursue in their career, then it's going to be a really good fit at McGill. Other thing that stands out to me is really, are they engaged? And I think this goes back to what Doug was saying. When you're meeting new students for the first time, or right now we're meeting students virtually for a lot of the career fairs, and it's how do they engage? Are they interested in what you're talking about? I talked to one student the other day. We were talking about the different offices and how they were different. She picked up on our environmental services team, and that's just something that she'd never been exposed to. So that's exciting for us.
So tell me about the hiring process once you've met someone interested in McGill at a career fair, Angie.
So when we meet students at the career fair, one thing that sets us apart from some of the other engineering firms that are there is we take your resume on the spot. So you are talking to a recruiter that once we engage with the student, they hand us their resume, they have just applied. So when we are able to start that process from the very beginning, we start that relationship right there. And that's very different than some other companies that we see at career fairs.
So, new graduates often don't have work experience to list. So, what's something that can help them demonstrate the traits that you're looking for without showing that actual work experience? Doug?
Well, we ask what kind of classes they've taken and what things they did in those classes. What are the things that they did in a senior project or some other type of project during their work? Angie mentioned this earlier about internships. Internships are a big deal. So they get a lot of opportunity for exposure there when they have some type of experience. They're not necessarily going to be doing what we've done, but something similar. Sometimes even just having worked in an office.
Angie?
Yeah, I agree with Doug. The experience may not necessarily come through a project or something that they've done in their schoolwork, but we look for, have they had a leadership role in a club? Have they pursued some of the professional organizations on campus? Those are definitely some of the things that show that they're interested in pursuing a career in engineering.
Well, I think the thing here is that, and I've told some candidates this, it's really not about what they have learned already in school. It's about what they're going to learn that we're going to teach them we want them to do. So we're really looking for somebody who's teachable, somebody who can learn. They haven't done exactly what we do.
I was looking at some of the resumes that we recently got from some of the career fairs, and some of the things that stand out is you can tell when they get excited about a project. They've given you who the project was for, what they did on a project, and maybe it's an internship or maybe it's their senior design project or a project in one of their specific classes. And you can really hone in on what they liked about it and what would be specific to McGill. How would we use that to sort of target and put in the position that makes the most sense for them, where they're going to grow and be excited about it?
So, what advice do you have for job seekers?
I guess the biggest thing is, particularly when you're coming to a career fair, is you are being interviewed. So come to that career fair and put your best foot forward. You see all manners of dress. You see folks with resumes, without resumes. And I would say go to every career fair that you can, meet as many folks as you can, because that's going to broaden, especially if you're a freshman or sophomore, that's going to broaden even the possibilities. And I think the job seeker in general, the market right now is such that you can do anything.
Doug, what's your advice?
When students go to college, they get messaging from most universities or folks that are connected there of the high goals and high idealistic type jobs that are related to their field. And when the reality comes down, they get to work on everyday projects. So what we do isn't always exciting and glamorous. And we're not going to save a third world country, but we may make a difference in a community that's struggling economically and help the livelihood of the 1,500 people that live there. So be open-minded about the opportunities ahead for you and try to get some insight into what people think about the jobs that they do that are in the field you want to work in. If you haven't been an intern, try to find somebody who you can at least sit down and talk to.
That's good advice. So, what do you both like to tell folks about McGill when you meet them?
McGill Associates is a full service consulting engineering firm that controls our own destiny. So, what I mean by that, we can do anything we want to do. We have technical staff with wide capabilities, and you can come in and join one of our teams, but still work on a wide variety of projects, not just the projects that team does. So, you can get exposure to a lot. We're not a big organization. McGill Associates is employee owned. So that's what I mean by controlling our own destiny. So we can do what we want to do. We can work for who we want to work for. We can work for a wide enough variety of projects. You get good exposure and enough depth of detail so that you can handle a project from beginning to end. You're not just the person who comes in and designs one component of a project or process.
Angie, do you have anything to add about McGill?
When I'm talking with someone about McGill, I share our culture and that, we're relationship based. Our business has been built on relationships since 1984. And that includes internal with our employees and external with our clients as well. And like Doug said, you have the opportunity to work on a variety of projects, not only within your geographical region, but across the entire footprint of McGill. And you have exposure to a lot of different things. You're not going to be pigeonholed into one thing. And that seems really important as you're starting out your career.
Do y'all have anything else you'd like to add before we close?
Well, I think what I would say to new graduates is find something you're interested in, something that you can see yourself doing for the next 20, 30, 40 years. Nothing's fun all the time, but something that you can enjoy, something that you can feel good about. When you go home in the evening, you feel like you've done something productive, done something to make a difference. And when your kids say, "What do you do today, Dad?" You can, or Mom, you can tell them something you feel good about. The other thing that I'll say is when you do the kind of things that we do, you'll find yourself driving around with your family, other people you know, and you say, "I worked on that project. Water tank over there. You see that splash pad? We worked on that. That's a McGill project."
Okay, well, Angie and Doug, thank you so much for your time today. You two have certainly given our listeners a lot to think about. To wrap up, I'd like to remind you that McGill is available as a resource for you as you take on this journey. We will be participating in many career fairs this winter and are always excited to hear from recent graduates. You can send an email to recruiting@mcgillassociates.com or info@mcgillassociates.com. You can also learn more about McGill and see what career opportunities are available on our website, mcgillassociates.com. Thanks for tuning in, and we hope to hear from you.